All right, guys, what's going on? Eric here. September 7th, first day back off of Labor Day weekend. We are about to go ahead and get into this fourth workshop, I think, day 4 or whatever. Um, this one's going to be really quick. What I'm going to do here is provide you guys with just some charts of candlesticks and things like that for you to just kind of review. What you want to do is probably print these out, put them on your wall, whatever, just as a resource for you to have because it's something that you should be using throughout your trading or at least studying. I know there's the PDF about candlestick charting in the file section of the Facebook group, which is good. This is just more of a condensed version for you to be able to see, all the different candlesticks available pretty quickly if you need them. So yeah, I'll just provide you guys with that. That'll be like a quick little workshop for today. It's just jumping into candlesticks because the next few days is going to be a little bit more intensive. We're going to talk about more in-depth detail about the brokers. What I'm going to do is show you how I set my broker platform up for pretty much, all three of the ones that I mentioned in the workshop yesterday. Then we're going to cover like the resources that I use when trading, or even when just investing and stuff like that, so you kind of have an idea of that stuff too. And then we'll get into some more subjects in the workshop, throughout the month to kind of wrap that up. And hopefully by the time it's all said and done, you'll have a quick little, just like crash course into, day trading setups and just kind of like the complete scope of being able to day trade, throughout a daily basis. And from there, you can, start adjusting and setting your stuff up to however you want. But this is just to kind of lay the groundwork foundation to get you, on your way with doing what you need to do. For you guys that are in the course and stuff like that, we're going to be doing like more in-depth detail on things like level 2 and just a bunch of different subjects as well too. It's just been a little bit delayed with doing the workshops for everyone else and things like that. But it's always new stuff in there for you guys that you're going to need. So just kind of stay, in tune with that and keep, monitoring the course section throughout the day so you can see what new stuff is being added. And I'll let you guys know as well too what's being added so you won't, forget. But yeah, so with that being said, print out those, candlestick photos and pictures that I have for you guys, print them out, post them in the Facebook group here in a second. And then we're going to recap the losing trade I had today for KPLT. Small little loss, perfectly fine. I kind of expected it to come off the holiday weekend. Hopefully the rest of the week is good and we are killing it as usual. And just keep on moving, all right? So watch the rest of the video, guys. Talk to you later. Stay green. All right, gang, let's go ahead and get into it today. We're going to recap the one trade I took, KPLT. Took that bad boy for a loss. Not upset about it. Little $95 loss. But I'm glad I stuck to my plan, got everything going the way I wanted to, and, rocking and rolling. So without further ado, let's kind of go into this trade. This was a pretty quick trade. Now today, overall market wasn't the greatest. There was still opportunity to make money there, but obviously not everyone did. This was a pretty good day to sit on your hands if you did. If you forced a trade, you probably know, probably learned a lesson. But if you didn't, well, now you did. So yeah, I mean, we all kind of talked about it in the chat room that today wasn't looking too good, and that's a good note that a lot of you should know. Based on the way like pre-market is acting and the way the opening bell is, will kind of set the tone for the day. It happens quite a bit. Every now and then you'll get like an afternoon, runner or, an after hours runner. But for the most part, the way the tone is set at the beginning of the day is usually how it's going to last the rest of the day. So that's why the first 30 minutes to an hour, maybe even 2 hours of the market is the most crucial as far as being able to trade and have an opportunity. You'll hear that a lot from a lot of different traders, but that's definitely key. I know a lot of times you guys have seen me making my money in pre-market. Um, it's just me being in the game before the game even starts. That's just kind of how that works, which is why I use Webull and other brokers that allow me to do that. So, anyways, let's kind of just quickly recap the way I took this KLPT trade. And you guys will be able to see exactly how I was thinking about this process. And this is the main reason why, cutting your losses quickly is very, very important when trading. What they mean, anybody who is, talked to you about trading or even mentioned trading, I always wonder what that meant, cutting your losses quickly. What they mean by that is when the trade even remotely starts to feel like it's not going your way, go ahead and get out. A lot of new traders get stuck with like the sunk cost fallacy and things like that, thinking that the trade is going to go their way. If you don't know what I'm talking about, do your research. But anyways, a lot of traders will hold on and hope, hoping that it goes wrong, or afraid to take that loss. When a lot of times, if you have your trading strategy down packed, you should not be afraid of taking that losses. Losses are inevitable. You're going to have losing trades. I hate to tell you, if you don't like losing money, I mean, you shouldn't like losing money. But if you're afraid to lose money, you're gonna have to go get a job or something. I don't know what to tell you, but there's no way to trade without losing money. That's just how it is. The key is to have your winning trades be better than your losing trades. And the one way you do that is by cutting losses quickly when the trade is not going your way. Now, if you find yourself cutting your trades a lot and the trade is going the way that you thought it was going to be, you need to start changing your strategies, entry point and exit point. But we're not going to get into all that right now. We're just going to recap this trade. So let's take a look at this bad boy. All right, KPLT. Alert went off. Let me take a look here when that alert went off. I don't know when it went off, but to me, it was kind of looking good. I mean, this morning, there wasn't no trades that was looking like, oh, this is going to be the one to blow up kind of trade. Um, Everything was just kind of stagnant, trading within range. And this is just one pure example. Um, I took this trade a little bit after the bell opened, hoping that it was going to run, but it definitely psyched me out. Right here, got a volume increase at 688. As I'm going down the line here, and you guys will see me kind of cover this at the end of the workshop. We're going to go over like how I'm looking at the trades on a daily day basis with the alerts. Um, you'll be able to kind of get a concept of what I'm doing. But anyways, that alert went off. I pulled it up, started looking good. I waited a little bit. You know me, I'm gonna typically wait, um, for it to pull back. So it went off at 688, which is like right around here around the bell opening, right? So it went up, went up. Okay, that's great. I'm looking to see how high it tests. I'm not trying to run and jump into it because it wasn't a parabolic. It didn't just supernova out of the gate. It started rising. I was like, okay, it's drawing some interest. This with it rising the way it did made me think that okay, this could be one that could be trending up, which I assumed, and so I waited for a pullback, which was right here. Now at this point, still watching it at the beginning of the day, nothing too ample. I'm thinking maybe it might go down and stay down and move on. Easy to do so, but it began to start to trend up, and as it trend up, you see here that it broke highs, and I kind of got in this thing a little early. You know me, what I like to look for when momentum trading, when the exponential moving average crosses the volume weighted average price, that's a really good indicator that the stock is going to be bullish. Um, and so I'm looking to typically get in after that something like that happens. And of course, this happened right here, and this is where I was looking at it. But this right here, guys, if you look at this part of the chart, these are all really good bullish indicators. It just so happened that this trade didn't work out well. It could be for a number of different reasons. I can't remember, did KPLT had news or not? I don't think there was no news. So I was just trying to hope to ride this on momentum. Um, if it did have news, I wasn't paying attention. But anyways, I was mostly looking at the chart. The news is just the extra catalyst for me. Um, I think last week it did pretty good. I think that's like the only news that we were able to kind of find out about it. But anyways, if you look at this part here, all this is good bullish signs that the stock could potentially go much higher, potentially, spike. But it did not. Now, again, the market, overall broad market, is something you want to keep in mind too. Today wasn't a really good day. Stock started pulling back. You don't really want to fight against the trend, which is why I just did this trade and said I'm done for the day because market's red, coming off for the holiday weekend. There's no telling what to expect. Usually it's not really bullish day. So I'm just going to cut my losses and wait for tomorrow. I'm fine. But take a look at how I looked at this. Seeing, I knew the moving average convergence divergence was turning over. I knew it's in the middle of the RSI. And bada bing, bada boom. I mean, it's hit every nail on the head. Great. It's in a great position for the moving average convergence divergence. It's almost overextended with the RSI, but not too much. It's crossing the volume weighting average price and the exponential moving averages. I got green candles. All these signs, guys, are telling me, hey, go ahead and get into the stock, which I did. Got in. Yeah, I'm in the green. I'm like, okay, right off the back, I'm in the green. I'm in green. Should I had taken some losses? I mean, taking my wins? Probably, but I was only at that time up like 1%, and I was shooting for like a 2 to 3 at this point. And again, that's when your risk management comes into play that I teach you guys. Whatever is yours, but I was only up by like 1%. So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, maybe it's gonna ride, maybe it's gonna ride. And then the moving average convergence started to pull back, the RSI started to weaken out, the buying power as far as the level two was starting to weaken. I wasn't, I was seeing a bunch of blocks of sell orders. And so I'm trying to ride it out, hoping that eventually, more buyers will come in, buyers will come in. I'm looking at level two, it's not looking too drastic. Then all of a sudden, boom, hit with a red candle, hit with a red candle, and then it drops below the volume weighted average price. Mind you, I got in right here. I pretty much, I could have broke even, but I tried to hold on a little longer to see if it was just a fake out pullback, but it wasn't a fake out. It was pretty much confirmed. It done went into bearish territory. Everything was turning bearish, so I said, go ahead and cut it. Not gonna fight it. For me, if it would have came back again and pulled up, then I would have probably got in, but it never did. Um, there was no particular reason why I chose this stock over another. I mean, other stocks ran today. I believe like CLOV did pretty good. Some of those meme stocks did pretty good. It was other stocks that did good. So the reason why I chose this one is because not only was it alerted, but it was also kind of fitting my criteria as far as what I was looking for um, at that point in time. So again, guys, I too make mistakes in choosing stocks. Nobody's perfect, but as long as the stocks that you're trading are hitting your criteria, then that's perfectly fine. For example, like for CIE, that thing was alerted. It was like over 24% at one point. I'm not going to trade that stock. I don't really like trading stocks that are below $1. That's just me. Doesn't I just don't perform well with those type of stocks. But you might. You never know. It's worth a shot. You never know until you try. When I say never know until you try, I mean try a lot of different times, not just once, twice, three times. You got to, this takes practice. So that's pretty much my thought rationale behind that. And again, it's a good thing that I did cut my losses quickly because look, guys, had I not, things would have got much more worse. I don't think that's the correct way to use that term, but things would have got worse. Do you say much more worse? But anyways, I'm not an English major, but things would have got worse had I stayed in there. It was not going anywhere. Let me replay this for you guys so you can kind of see my thought process behind this in real time, um, real quickly, and we'll just wrap this one up. I want this to be short. You guys know I don't like making these YouTube videos be too long because they try to hit you with ads and stuff like that. I hate ads, so I know you do too. We just want to get straight to the point at what we're looking at and move on. So let's take a look at this. Just slow it down a little bit because it wasn't too long. This is real time, I think, right here. So you're watching a chart. It's pulling up. You're alerted probably like right about here, 6-8. Okay, that's great. You know the rules. Wait for a setup. There's no setup here. It's just it's uptrending. That's great, but this is the top. This is new level support. Let's see what happens. Okay, it breaks down support. It pulled back like I wanted it to. It's not overextended. Okay, great. Let's see if it begins to trend up. All right. Oh, it crossed. Yep, I'm getting in. Boop. Again, this is a little faster in real time, but anyways, boom. Get in. Let this thing ride. I'm in here. I'm in right here. Okay, great. Great. It's fluctuating. Not paying no attention. All right. Now it's starting to pull back. Still got my eye on it, hoping that it's holding, it's holding, it's holding. It's a good sign. Now it done cross volume weighted average price. It done dropped. That's a sign for me to pretty much get out right there. I see the exponential moving average is moving down, the EMA. So I'm like, okay, there's no point in me. I either, got in a bad entry or just this thing is just not going to go the way I want. Either way, I need to get out. So I got out at that point. Um, lo and behold, you speed that up and look at what happens the rest of the day. It just keeps dropping, just keep dropping. Had I not got out when I got out, would have lost more money. That $90 or $95 loss, whatever it was, I posted in the Facebook group, could have easily been 100, 200, 300, $400. Especially for those of you who like to try to double down and wait for it to turn back up. It's got to go back up. It doesn't always got to go back up. Okay. Now, another key thing that kind of helps you realizing this, because I need you guys to understand this first and foremost, especially as momentum traders. Charting is good. It's okay, but it's not again the all in all. You need to learn how to read price action on level two because that is telling you the psychology behind traders and what they are thinking about the stock. And I tell you guys a lot of times, because you're asking me, I can go over charts all day, but charts are lagging indicators. All these indicators that you're seeing are lagging indicators. All these do is help me confirm what I'm thinking that the trade is going to be. And I'm confirming that through looking at the chart. Now, what's leading me to make my decisions is price action. If I'm seeing buy orders coming in, I'm thinking one thing. If I see sell orders coming in, I'm thinking another. If I see, tricky with either or, I'm thinking this or that, and you'll know what to think and what to expect and what to set, like support, resistance, and all other stuff as you read that. And that takes practice. Um, so understand that we can go over charts all day, but if you don't have price action, especially if you're day trading, there's no point in doing that. You're a step too late, because these charts, these candlesticks, these patterns, they're all going to show you what has already happened. So all that can really pretty much do is confirm the bias of what you see in level two. You know, like for example, if you see that, hey, at 670, there's a bunch of buy orders there as the stock is, going up and going down. As you're seeing it fluctuate in your level two, you should be probably still seeing a bunch of buy orders there that's holding that level of support for them sellers who are cashing in, their trade. And that's pretty much how that works. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I go in level two a little bit more detail in the course, and I'm gonna actually be putting more videos and recaps of that for you guys in there, because again, that's almost the bread and butter of day trading. All right. So hope this video helps, just to kind of recap my trade. I'm still working on trying to do this stuff live, real time for you guys. I'm sorry I'm not a YouTuber. I don't do all that, photo or video editing and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll hire people to do that, but I don't have time. I'm actually trading, and these workshops are keeping me busy. So that's why some of the new content in the course have been a little bit stagnant. But I'm gonna get back to it once we finish up this workshop for you guys. Okay. This is just a little tip of the iceberg of what I like to go over for you. All right. So hopefully this video helps. If you guys got any questions just about this, comment below, email me, message me, hit me up in the Facebook group, whatever you want. Um, Hopefully tomorrow's a better day. Again, I'm not sweating that loss. Comes to the territory. Um, but yeah, let's at least we're live to trade another day. But other than that, guys, stay green, and we'll get back at it tomorrow. All right, take care.